In today's video, we have the round 3 team lineups. So we'll go through 8 games here. One game we are missing, or one game's already happened, and West Coast versus Fremantle has been delayed, probably because of how badly West Coast are getting screwed with Corona sweeping through their club. So unfortunately, we won't know those till tomorrow. Most likely, it'll just be for Darcy owners, or just, I think, Eno at this point to see if he gets up. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'll quickly touch on the Dogs versus Sydney game. So I watched a little bit of this game, was with family tonight, so yeah, just didn't pay a whole lot of attention. But looking at the scores, McRae had a poor fourth quarter. I may have brought him in for Gawn. Oh well, he'll be fine long term, but just had a bad fourth quarter. Isaac only 88. It's whatever. Against the Dogs away, here's an easy fixture the next 3. That's fine. Probably the concerning one is Dylan Stevens. Just the 20-odd points or whatever he had. So not only has that really startled his cash gen for the next few weeks, with McInerney out of the team, does he lose his spot to Justin McInerney? I really hope not. If he does lose his spot, I'll just hold. I think he'll come back eventually, but maybe he even holds his spot. He was quite good the week before, so yeah, that's can't be putting in those games and expect to keep getting picked. So possibly sub risk as well now. I guess we'll deal with that when it comes, but yeah, I'll just hold him if he's dropped, but hopefully he keeps playing. So Melbourne versus Essendon. Bedford out in Phillips, Shield, Nick Martin. Nick Martin's back, that's good. If you don't have him, you can wait a week to grab him. Because he did miss last week, so it's still needs to play another 2 games to go up in price. And then Francis, Devon Smith omitted, interesting. Cox out injured, and Merritt Syndesmosis could be out for, I don't know, 1 or 2 months or something. So see how he goes. So looking at the Melbourne lineup, James Jordan at half back. I don't know if that's a troll or not. Jackson Ford, Gawn number 1 ruck. It's whatever. I guess nothing is really, not a whole lot is happening. Bowie on the bench. Not a whole lot's happening. So I'll probably, the problem with Gawn is, I forgot to touch on English before, but we've already lost with picking Gawn because the English owners have destroyed us. And yeah, it's going to be nearly impossible to come back from if Gawn is rucking 50% of the time, 55%, whatever it was, 51% I think it was. So maybe it'll go up sometimes, maybe it'll go down. If you want to trade Gawn, I have no fear doing that. We've already been, like, if you went to English, great, but yeah. We've already lost, unfortunately, so I guess you can still make a play there. PREUSS is in, so we'll get to that later. And looking at Essendon, it's whatever. In defense, Perkins named in forward pocket. I think they should give him more CBAs as the season goes on. Maybe with that Mary he gets some. Ridley on the interchange, not great. I think he's better than to be named there, but it's whatever. And yeah, move on. Mighty Crom versus Port in the Showdown tomorrow night. So don't worry about you Victorians, don't worry about this game. Get around the Showdown. It'll be good. I know we're both literally like on 60% and 2 losses, but still I think it'll be good. So in Frampton, Murphy, Laird. Laird is in. Watch him for downgrade target later in the year. Not sure he's top 8, but I think he'll be close. Sligo out, Pedler omitted. I think Pedler needs to improve his, be able to play at AFL level 4 games with a bit of mid-time because I think he's not conditioned enough given his durability. Murray omitted. Okay, so we're playing 1 key defender. And Sloane's out with groin. In for Port, McEntee and Mays. McEntee's 123k forward mid. So not one I'd go early on. See how he plays. I think Gray's out. Yeah. So, we'll just wait on McEntee. Wouldn't bring him in straight away. Sin and Dersma omitted. Interesting. Weird, because they usually give Sin a run, but they just haven't. So, I don't know. Yeah, so this is tanking sort of stuff. I guess they're playing a short forward line, so only Marshall and Georgiades, I think. Dawson named on a wing, so they did say that they wanted to play Dawson more up the ground. He moved to halfback, probably just needed to settle in. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes. I think we know last year Seedsman in the role scored very well, fed him the ball a lot, and I think honestly we are going to feed Jordan Dawson the ball a lot. I think he's going to be a good pick. So yeah, if you have him, I think one to get excited about. Schoenberg on the bench, Hinge on the bench. I think Hinge's job security is quite good. Who's sub here? I don't know. Probably Haitley for Haitley or Pedler maybe because of Sloane's out. So yeah, Hinge. I wouldn't worry about him on the interchange. I think he'll keep playing. Port Adelaide defense, whatever. Houston on a wing. Butters half forward. We know he pushes up, so that's whatever. Mead's playing, so that's good if you have Mead. And not sub, so maybe he makes some money. So that's pretty nice. Sam Hayes emergency. Maybe he plays this. I think he will play at some point. Maybe it's just depends on Lysette's fitness. Giants vs Suns in Big PREUSS, Steen, Peatling, Keith. Now I do remember reading on Peatling. Where's he playing? He scored very well in the VFL last year, but yeah, just one to keep an eye on. But don't know his position. Lloyd out, Riccardi omitted, Brander omitted, Flynn omitted, Davis injured. Okay, so they are running a very small forward line. Okay, interesting. Well, much smaller than last week. In Weller out, McPherson out, Flanders. So looking at the Giants team, Whitfield halfback. I'd love to see him play more up the ground. I don't know why they're persisting with Ash. Why wouldn't they swap Ash and Whitfield? I don't know. They know more than me, of course, but I like Whitfield up the ground more, not halfback. You can get more usage out of him up the ground. Cogs, Taranto up half forward. I thought Cogs was a fair bit. I think his CBAs were good, but felt like he was forward a bit. Same with Taranto. PREUSS. Okay, so Gorn owners are losing every week quite badly, and we're going to lose even more if you have him still, given his price. So, look, Gorn could come out and pump out a good score. It doesn't change the fact that he's going to drop 100k. So, over the next few weeks. Do you go early on PREUSS? No. It's too risky for mine. I think he'll be good enough to hold. I think he'll do good. Wits is a tough opponent. Durability, they like to rotate their rucks. Maybe they need to give PREUSS a rest. Remember, Leon Cameron was saying just this week that, they've had to build him up because he had surgery in December or whenever it was, back surgery. So maybe he needs a rest at some point. I think most likely he will, given what's happened with his injuries the past few years. So nonetheless, he will score well, I expect. He's definitely a very good scorer. I was impressed with him in that Amy game, so he can definitely score quite well. It wouldn't surprise me if he pumps out 120. At the same time, I am quite nervous. Just want to see him get through a game first. So, one that's one we'll definitely need to look at. And I actually have 100k free at the moment, just in case I do grab him in the next 2 weeks. So, one I'd like to wait on though. Flynn emergency, so it's interesting. I wonder if they play two. So they're just playing the two tolls here, I think. Plus PREUSS. So maybe they can play Flynn and PREUSS next week if they feel like they're too short. Gold Coast defense, who cares? Mids, whatever. There's literally nothing here. Davies interchange, playing more forward. Rao, follower, nothing new. Next game. Pies versus the Cats in Bruz and McInnes. Reef McInnes, so tall midfielder, high upside. Production hasn't been super great in the VFL last year, but had injuries. So sounds like he had a good preseason, and see how he goes. Out McCreary, out Kruger, out Tyler Brown. So I assume Brown is out for Reef McInnes. Geelong in Sam DeConing, Sean Higgins, out Dalehouse, Narkle, and Zach Guthrie. Interesting they got rid of Guthrie. I thought he was good in the preseason. I haven't watched him this season this far. So, good to see Sam DeConing back. Keep him off your field, even though he did score well once. I don't want him anywhere near my field. Named at centre halfbacks. That's good. So we'll go through Collingwood lineup. Crisp at halfback.
They named him there last week, I think, and they played him more mid. So either way, Chris scores fine off halfback, even better. So it's whatever. PREUSS will be. Wonder if PREUSS gets some midfield time. We'll see how he goes. Going named to half forward, was leading the CBA, so I expect him to get plenty again. Lip on ball, that's good, I guess. McInnes on the bench and Nick Dacos on the bench, that's whatever. Looking at Geelong, nothing here. Yeah, nothing to discuss here. Danger on ball, whatever. Guthrie on ball. Duncan on a wing. I guess monitor Duncan for a bit, but not really interested in him for the time being. Brisbane versus North. So Robinson in, out Sharp and Pryor. North in Mackay, Ford, Jaden Stevenson. Out Bonner, Lazaro, LDU, Tyron Thomas. Thomas is out for a while, unfortunately. Had a pretty unlucky injury. So Brisbane lineup down back. Nothing really here. Probably Rich just farming kick-ins. Zorko named in the middle. So looked a little proppy last week, but really farmed points. Berry named on a wing. I definitely think you can hold Berry if you want. It is risky to trade, but Cripps, if he's a gateway to Cripps, I think it's okay. Given he plays North without Thomas and LDU, he should go in if he gets the right role, but we don't know if he does get the right role. So it's a bit of a casino pick, but a low risk if you hold. So I think I'm trading to get Cripps. Yeah, I think I could be one that I regret, but I understand. Cripps will go up by more than Berry most likely. Just it depends on the role that they give Berry, I guess. Rayner forward. Oh, Oscar McInerney. Just Rock. Fort on the bench. Dev Rob on interchange. Down back, Hall McDonald. Zeeble, the holy trio down back. Man, I love watching their defenders score points. It's fun to watch. Jason Horne-Francis named for forward. I think he'll get some CBAs given the players they're missing. In comes a Tom Powers playing. CCJ not named. Good for Cherry, who's first ruck. So that's looking good for Cherry. Then you got to get him in if you don't have him, if you can. Carlton in Chera, Martin Boyd. Lewis Young, Parks out. McGovern hamstring injury. I guess that's why half the reason why I didn't start him, but yeah, good avoid, I guess, for me. But it makes it easier because now you have your money, your gateway to Patrick Cripps or whatever, whoever play you want. How Kaczynski Long, Will Day in, out. Tom Phillips, rest in peace. Okay, go through Carlton's lineup. So Lewis Young will take over from Oscar McDonald. Sard and Doherty. Sard's actually been playing alright. He could be a top 15 defender and he's quite cheap, but one for fantasy actually, not Supercoach probably. Will Setterfield and O'Brien on the wing. What? Kennedy on the bench. Where's Chera named? Chera and Kennedy on the bench. What the hell? I find that weird. Hewitt, Walsh, Cripps. Yeah, nothing much on Carlton's side. Looking at Hawthorn, Sicily. Playing a lot of accountable stuff, but still scoring okay and getting some nice kick-ins. So I like Sicily's game, but I think his upside is a little capped because the amount of times he has to play one-on-one, but still hunts the ball a bit, which is fine. So I think he's fine. Ward on a wing. So who's on this extended bench? So I think they actually said possibly Nash tags around Big Footy. Maybe they send Nash to tag Cripps. We'll see. Yeah, move on. St Kilda versus Richmond. So last game, so no West Coast versus Freo. Long Kent, Howard, Ryder in, out Cooper Sharman, in Grimes, Rewalt, and Maurice Rioli. St Kilda, so down back, whatever. In the midfield, Manganine, Milera holds. Not one player I'll look at though. Ryder and Marshall ahead of Hayes. Hayes on the extended bench. So if you're like me and you're sending it Hayes R2, we're going to have to wait till tomorrow night. And I would have a plan B if he doesn't get named. So
Brett Ratten was saying in a press conference this morning that they tried to play all three at training, and then they said, we'll be touch and go, we'll see if they play all three. Did say some good things about Hayes. His teammates love playing with him, and he's put his best foot forward and stuff like that. Does he play? I think they'll give it a go, run all three this week, and if it doesn't work, well, I don't think they're dropping Ryder or Marshall. I think Hayes might be in trouble. So, look, I think it's how could they possibly drop him based on his round 1 performance, and he was quite serviceable in round 2. So it's probably between him and Mason Wood for this spot. So I think Crouch will play. Honestly, I wouldn't have a clue. And then one of Hayes or Wood, and then 2 of the rest. I honestly have no idea out of who plays. They might have announced Lienet's debut. I reckon I might have seen that on Twitter. I'm not sure. So maybe he plays. I'm not 100% sure. So maybe Hayes or Wood have to play. They're playing Membry. They're playing Ryder, King, Membry, Marshall already. They did play Wood last week as well. Wood and Hayes. Just Ryder in this week. I guess it's just wait and see. It's very risky. I think it's almost too risky to run Hayes at R2. But people are trying to fund players like Cripps, I guess Heaney, if you've already gone through with it. If you've got English, great. George Hewitt. This is the gateway to do it, so we'll see how it goes. And then Richmond, Gibcus on field, which is great. So I still have him, so I hope I can just hold him for like 6-7 rounds and he can maybe get to like almost 300. That would be nice. Looking at the rest of the team, it's very much whatever. Rioli's been okay so far. I didn't like his aiming game. And practice game, thought he turned it over a lot, but he's scoring some decent points. Interchange, Hugo Boss, Parker, Miller, probably not going to play. Probably behind Gibcus. But yeah, he's a 160k rookie. So those are the teams. It'll be interesting to see the Fremantle and West Coast game. So I know Fremantle, Longmuir has been kind of blasting the midfield a bit. So interesting to see if we get Neil Erasmus. So I'm really excited to watch him play. So hopefully he gets named. Or probably later, because we might need him as a downgrade option. But we'll see if Erasmus plays, and hopefully O'Driscoll keeps playing. I think he'll be a good rookie for us. He's one I'll probably skip because I've overtraded, and I don't really want to trade Gibcus to O'Driscoll, given Gibcus is going to keep playing, and I don't know if O'Driscoll keeps playing, but I think he'll play his way into the team. So yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.